Some seasons of life bring quiet struggles and heavy days when even getting up feels like an achievement. Obstacles seem endless and support may be nowhere in sight. Yet, history's most inspiring stories are not of those who waited for perfect moments or a helping hand, but of those who pressed on through fatigue and heartache, carving their way forward when every muscle, ACHD for rest. Inner power reveals itself not in comfort, but in adversity. When everything is stripped away, praise, encouragement, reassurance, the raw material of character is left behind. Persistence in the face of loneliness, resilience when hope is faint, determination despite exhaustion. These are the qualities that set the truly successful apart. Every small action, every effort to rise becomes a victory over circumstances. Champions are not made in easy times. But when every reason says stop, yet the spirit refuses to surrender, this program is designed to show you the keys to inner strength and self-reliance. Uncover practical methods to rebuild confidence, transform setbacks into stepping stones, and draw motivation from deep within, even on the toughest days. Learn how to set clear goals, nurture unwavering self-belief, and maintain steady progress no matter how worn or alone you feel. By the end, you will not just survive tough seasons. You'll walk through them with a renewed sense of purpose and the tools to achieve lasting success. Start where you stand. Many spend years waiting for just the right moment, waiting for the clouds to part, for the path ahead to become clear, for a sign or some stroke of fortune to show that it is time to begin. Some hope for a friendly hand or an unexpected advantage to appear, thinking only then can they step forward. But the truth is far simpler and far more powerful. You must start where you stand. Even if the winds are howling and your spirit feels worn thin, it is the first step taken in less than perfect conditions that carries the greatest promise. Consider the early days of Mr. Ford. Long before there was a name known across continents, before there was a company or a workforce or even a single product, there was only an idea in one man's mind, a stubborn resolve refusing to bow to doubt. Around him, there was little applause. There were no guarantees and even fewer allies. He started where he stood with nothing but determination as his capital. The world did not encourage him. In truth, it often tried to turn him back. Yet he pressed forward and in so doing set into motion the events that would build an empire. Your own beginning may look quite different, but it is no less important. Perhaps your hands are empty, your heart weary, your mind troubled by the memory of failures. Perhaps you have stood on the sidelines watching others, telling yourself you will act when the time is right. Hear this truth. There is no perfect time. Progress never waits for comfort. The soil beneath your feet may be stony. The air may be thick with uncertainty. Still, it is your decision to move, to plant your intentions and act on them that begins the quiet miracle of growth. There is a myth that greatness arrives with trumpets or that opportunity comes only to the well-prepared and the fortunate. In reality, greatness grows from humble ground, from decisions made in solitude when no one is watching and no one is cheering. You need not wait for applause, nor do you need the world's permission. All you need is your own conviction. Sometimes the smallest spark of belief is enough to light the fire that drives you forward. Even if it is all you have left, let that resolve be the engine that carries you into action. Understand, the process of growth is never neat, never predictable. Seeds do not wait for gentle rain and sunlight before they push through the earth. Neither should you. The beginning is almost always lonely and often uncertain. Yet once you have taken that first step, you will find that new doors open. Unexpected help appears and strength you never suspected rises within you. Stand where you are, not where you wish you could be. Begin with what you have, not with what you hope one day to possess. Every story of success, every leap, every triumph starts not in distant comfort, but in the present moment. With a single decision to move forward despite the odds. Plant your feet firmly. Set your intentions and let your journey begin. That is how all great stories are written, by those who dared to start where they stood. Decide with purpose. Indecision is the silent thief of dreams. It creeps in unnoticed, quietly draining the days, leaving you adrift and uncertain. When you are broken, tired, or confused, it may seem easier to drift from one moment to the next, letting life carry you wherever it may. Yet those who rise to greatness are not those who simply go along with the tide. They are those who make decisions. They decide what they want, decide where they are going, and set their course with intention. Think of Mr. Carnegie. Before his name, E. Ver appeared in print or was spoken with respect in distant places, he made a simple, profound choice. He would build something that endured. He was not born into wealth or comfort, but as a young man, he saw a vision and dared to choose it as his own. He did not wait for certainty or for every step to be mapped out before him. Instead, he committed himself to a clear goal and poured his every effort into its achievement. The world did not hand him a ready-made plan. It simply waited to see what he would do with his decision. You too must decide. Sit quietly with your thoughts away from the noise and distractions, and with honesty and boldness, ask yourself what you truly desire. Do not be afraid to name it. Do not shy away from ambition or settle for something less than what ignites your spirit. Write it down. Let the words become real, not just fleeting notions. Allow your purpose to burn your mind to shape the way you think, act, and plan. A clear decision honestly made brings order to the chaos and confusion that so often fills our days. Purpose is not only the source of direction, it is a wellspring of energy. Even when your body is tired, even when the obstacles seem endless, a true sense of purpose will pull you through. It gives you the reason to rise. When you would rather remain at rest, to keep going when your strength runs low, a man or woman who moves with purpose is not easily defeated. The storms of life may batter and discourage, but purpose is the anchor that keeps you from drifting into regret. Do not let your precious days be spent in vague wishes or hollow regrets. Time does not pause for indecision. Every moment you spend unsure is a moment lost, a step missed on the road that could be yours. Make your choice, however small or grand, and begin to move toward it. Resolve to act even when your path is not entirely clear. Action born of decision will bring clarity and confidence where before there was only doubt. Purpose transforms struggle into progress and confusion into clarity. It is the compass by which you chart your days, the flame that brightens your darkest hours. When strength falters, it is purpose that will carry you onward. Decide with intention. Set your sights and let your purpose become the force that shapes your life. This is the way of those who achieve greatness not by accident, but by decision. Build your own fire. In times of struggle, you will often find yourself standing alone. The world can feel distant, and the encouragement you yearn for may never come. The helping hand you hope for may not reach you. Yet this is not a punishment, nor is it a sign that you are forgotten. It is an invitation, a quiet calling to build your own fire. Consider Mrs. Smith. Her voice, before it echoed through grand halls and moved countless hearts, struggled to be heard in small, empty rooms. She sang not for applause or recognition, but to keep her spirit alive. Her earliest audiences were the shadows on the wall, the empty chairs and quiet corners. Still, she sang. She did not wait for someone else to fan her flames or lift her from discouragement. Instead, she stoked her own fire, believing in herself before the world ever did. When you are weary, it is easy to wish that someone might step in to carry your burdens, to urge you forward when your will falters. But it is in the act of lifting yourself up, of speaking an encouragement to your own heart, that true strength and character are forged. Waiting for the world to recognize your worth is a sure way to let your fire go cold. Instead, you must become your own source of warmth and light. Begin by creating rituals of self-belief. Remind yourself daily of your strengths, no matter how small they may seem. Recall your past victories, the obstacles you have already overcome, the moments when you proved to yourself that you could endure. These memories are the kindling that will feed your flame. Tend to your dreams as you would to a precious fire in the night. Careful not to let doubt or neglect smother their glow. In the silence of your struggle, speak gently to yourself. Remind your heart of its courage, your mind of its resourcefulness. Even if your efforts seem unnoticed by the world, let them be noticed by you. Take pride in your perseverance. Honor your efforts and celebrate each step forward, however small. The warmth you seek must first be built within your own soul. Others may eventually gather around your fire, drawn by its steady light and comforting heat. But the first sparks must come from your own hands. It is your belief in yourself that will keep the darkness at bay, your willingness to nurture hope that will see you through the coldest nights. Stand firm and tend to your inner fire, even when the world seems indifferent. Greatness is rarely born in comfort or in crowds. It begins in quiet places, often unnoticed and unheralded, with one person daring to believe, to hope, and to persist. Build your own fire, and you will find that the warmth you create can sustain you through any trial. In time, your light may inspire others, but it must first be lit by your own hand. That is the true measure of resilience and the first step on the path to greatness. Embrace the lessons of failure. No one who has reached the summit of success has done so without first walking through the valleys of defeat. It is in failure, far more than in victory, that you meet your true teachers. Mr. Edison, determined to bring light where there was only darkness, faced countless setbacks. Time and again, his efforts ended in disappointment. Yet instead of falling into despair, he welcomed each failure with a sense of curiosity. He treated every mistake not as a final blow, but as a clue pointing toward the answer he sought. When you are weary and discouraged, it is easy to believe that failure marks the end of your journey. The sting of defeat can feel sharp and personal, making you question whether it is worth continuing. But if you look more closely, you will find that failure is not a closed door. It is a signpost on the road, a lesson meant to steer you in a wiser direction. Do not turn away from your setbacks. Instead, examine them. Write down what happened and ask yourself honestly, what can be learned from it? What pattern emerges? What weakness has been revealed? And how might you grow stronger because of it? In this act of reflection, you claim your power back from disappointment and transform it into wisdom. Refuse to let your story end at a single defeat. Resolve that you will use every lesson as a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. Each failure you face has the power to sharpen your resolve and strengthen your character. Disappointment, though painful, prepares you for the day when success finally arrives. And that day comes, you will stand upon a foundation not of ease, but of experience, built stone by stone with the lessons learned from every misstep. You will be able to endure more, to persist longer, and to rise higher than you would have without those trials. Let your setbacks shape you, not shatter you. The greatest triumphs are born not from a life of ease, but from resilience in the face of difficulty. Each lesson drawn from failure brings you closer to your best self, revealing hidden strengths and untapped potential. Remember, the journey toward your goals will not always be smooth. There will be days when progress seems impossible and hope feels distant. Yet, if you choose to see failure as your teacher, every defeat becomes another step on the path to success. Embrace the lessons of failure with an open heart. Learn what you must, adapt where you can, and continue onward. This is how the strongest foundations are built, by those who are willing to be shaped by their setbacks, who understand that the journey is as important as the destination. With each lesson, you move closer to becoming the person you were meant to be. Persist through the storm. Success is seldom won by those who surrender at the first sign of difficulty. The path to achievement is paved by those who keep moving, even when the road is slick with rain, even when every step feels heavy and every muscle cries out for rest. When Mr. Ford faced the scorn of doubters who laughed at his vision of a horseless carriage, he did not turn back. There were countless nights when the future seemed uncertain, when progress was slow and hope was dim. Yet he pressed on, undeterred by the storm around him. You too will encounter days when you feel worn thin, when the weight of your burdens tempts you to give up and turn aside. In these moments, hold fast to this truth. Storms do not last forever. The rain will cease, the clouds will part, and the sun will return. But only those who persist, who refuse to let the storm dictate their fate, will witness the clearing that follows. When your spirit is battered and your strength feels spent, set your eyes on the horizon. Lower your head, grit your teeth if you must, and move forward step by step, inch by inch. You may not always travel quickly, and your energy may wane, but persistence has a power all its own. Every day that you endure, you draw closer to your breakthrough. Even if the world cannot see your progress, there will be others who fall away, who choose comfort over challenge, who let discouragement turn them back. Let them go if they must, for your purpose is not to impress anyone else. You are not walking this path to win their approval. You are walking it to win your own victory, to claim the satisfaction that comes only from seeing a difficult journey through to its end. So press forward through the storm. Let your determination be the anchor that holds you steady when the winds rise. With each day you persist, you build a strength that cannot be taken from you. Remember, the reward is not just in the achievement, but in the person you become along the way. The clearing is waiting for you just beyond the storm. Keep moving until you reach it. Craft your environment. Your surroundings hold a quiet but lasting power over your thoughts and your spirit. The company you keep, the atmosphere in which you spend your hours, the word ideas that drift into your mind, all these things work together to shape who you become. Even if your journey leads you alone for a time, you have the ability to create an environment that nurtures your strength and renews your hope. Consider Mr. Bergen. Before his laughter echoed in crowded halls, he first brought joy to himself and to the few who gathered near him. His audience did not need to be vast, for he understood that the tone of his own world would set the stage for all that was to come. He chose to fill his days with what inspired him, letting every small act of cheerfulness take root and grow. You have this same power. You can choose the stories you read, the music you allow into your heart, the people with whom you share your time. Hang up words that inspire you. Let a single phrase placed where you will see it each morning be a reminder of your purpose. Surround yourself with reminders of triumph, whether from your own life or from those who have walked difficult roads before you. Spend your moments with those who lift you higher, and when such company cannot be found, become your own source of encouragement. Even the smallest details can transform your world. Straighten your space, arrange your surroundings to reflect your goals, and fill the air with words of hope. When you are tempted by doubt or weighed down by fatigue, let your environment become your ally. One encouraging phrase pinned to your wall, one photograph that reminds you of a proud moment can offer comfort and inspiration when you need it most. Remember, you are the architect of your own environment. Whether you walk among crowds or in solitude, you have the power to shape the world around you. Oh, that it feeds your ambition rather than saps it. Do not wait for others to create this space for you. Begin now with whatever you have to craft an environment that makes you stronger, that keeps your purpose alive, and that helps you rise again each day. Let your surroundings become a garden for your spirit, carefully tended, lovingly arranged, filled with what gives you light. In doing so, you will discover new wells of encouragement, and you will find that even the hardest days are easier when your world is shaped by intention and care. Value quiet progress. It is a common error to imagine that every step forward must come with fanfare, that every accomplishment should be greeted with public praise. The truth is that the most significant progress often unfolds in silence, away from the eyes of the world. Many of the greatest gains in life are made when no one is watching, when the only witness to your effort is yourself. Think of Mrs. Smith, whose name would one day draw crowds to great halls. Long before there were tickets sold and applause echoing in grand rooms, she spent hours alone rehearsing in quiet spaces. Her only audience in those early days was the empty chair and the fading light. There was no applause, no recognition, only her own voice and the steady discipline of daily practice. Yet it was in those silent moments, far from the world's attention, that her skills were sharpened and her confidence was forged. So too must you be willing to work in the shadows. Be prepared to labor where no one is watching, to build your abilities in solitude, and to craft your talents when applause is absent. The work done in private, unseen, and uncelebrated is no less valued, able than the victories displayed before a crowd. Quiet progress is still progress. Each small step, each lesson learned, and each effort made out of sight is a stone in the foundation of your future success. Take pride in the work you do when there are no spectators. The small victories you earn in solitude are the seeds from which great achievements grow. Whether you are reading by lamplight late at night, practicing your craft before dawn, or refining your skills while others rest, know that you are preparing yourself for the day when opportunity arrives. Your preparation, built slowly and patiently, will be your hidden strength when the world finally turns its eyes to you. Let your own approval be enough. It is easy to hunger for recognition, to crave the validation of others. Yet external praise, though pleasant, is not what gives your work its true worth. Your dedication, your persistence, and your willingness to labor in silence are the true measures of your value. Stand tall in your own regard. Trust that the steps you take, however unnoticed, are guiding you closer to your dreams. Understand that every moment spent in quiet improvement is an investment in yourself. Build in silence, shaping your character and your abilities with care. As you persist through unnoticed effort, you are becoming someone who is ready for the challenges ahead. When the time comes and the world is finally listening, your results will speak with a strength that cannot be denied. The preparation done in the shadows will shine in the light of opportunity. Do not be discouraged by the lack of applause. The road to mastery is rarely crowded, and much of it is traveled alone. The quiet hours, the patient practice, and the steady pursuit of excellence may go unseen by others, but they will be felt in the quality of your work and the confidence you carry. Let your progress be its own reward, and let your own satisfaction be the measure of your achievement. Build in silence. Embrace the slow, patient work of self-improvement. Let your progress, however quiet, be a testament to your character. In time, the results of your unseen labor will become evident to all. When that day comes, it will not be the noise that made you worthy, but the quiet, persistent effort that brought you to the place where the world can finally see you shine. Hold fast to integrity. When the world turns harsh and the path ahead is lined with obstacles, you may feel the quiet pull to compromise, to lower your standards, to take the easy route instead of the right one. It is in these moments when the pressure mounts and shortcuts beckon that your true character is revealed. Lasting success, the kind that endures through trials and storms, is built not on clever tricks or fleeting advantage, but upon the solid rock of integrity. Reflect on the example set by Mr. Ford. Throughout all his ventures, whether in triumph or trial, he insisted on honesty, not only in his dealings with others, but most importantly with himself. It was this unwavering commitment to truth and fairness that formed the backbone of his achievements. The world did not always reward him for it in the moment. There were times when his insistence on principle cost him dearly, times when it seemed that compromise would have led more quickly to comfort or gain. Yet he chose the longer, harder road, trusting that the ground he walked would hold steady beneath his feet. You too must resolve to hold fast to your own standards. Do not allow the shifting winds of public opinion or the fleeting temptations of gain to shake your resolve. Integrity asks you to remain true even when you must walk alone, even when your honesty is neither noticed nor praised. There is no peace in a victory that is won by deception. The applause that follows an achievement gained through betrayal is hollow and short-lived. Only the satisfaction that comes from staying true to your values endures, lighting your way when everything else grows dim. Let your word be your bond. If you make a promise to yourself, keep it. If you set a standard, let nothing lower it, no matter who is watching or how great the cost. Others may choose the easier path, content with appearances or momentary advantage. But you must remember that true strength lies in standing firm. Hold to your course, guided by your own sense of right, regardless of how many or how few share your view. There will be moments when integrity seems to be a burden, when those who bend the rules surge ahead while you move forward inch by inch. You may wonder if the world rewards honesty at all, but in the fullness of time, it is only integrity that does not crumble. The victories built on anything less are fleeting, collapsing at the first sign of trouble, leaving only regret and emptiness behind. Hold fast to integrity in small things as well as great. The habit of honesty, once established, becomes a shield against compromise. If you find yourself tempted to shade the truth or cut a corner, pause and remember the cost. Remember that your greatest asset is not your reputation on in the eyes of others, but your ability to look yourself in the mirror without regret. It is far better to stand with clean hands and a quiet mind than to win the world and lose your own self-respect. Let the foundation of your life and your work be built on what cannot be shaken, the quiet strength of integrity. You may not always be rewarded with applause, nor will every victory be noticed, but in the end, you will possess something far greater, a sense of wholeness, a life unburdened by hidden shame when the storms pass and lesser achievements fade. It is integrity that will remain steadfast and unyielding. Hold fast to it, for it is the only foundation upon which real and lasting success can be built. Cultivate hope and imagination. When the weight of the world presses upon your shoulders and your spirit feels battered, hope can appear as nothing more than a faint and distant star, barely visible through the clouds. Yet it is precisely in these moments when you are broken and tired that hope and imagination become most essential. These quiet forces keep your inner flame alive, guiding you through darkness toward a better day. Consider Mr. Edison. In the long nights of repeated failure, surrounded by doubt and disappointment, he did not surrender his vision. While the world saw only setbacks, he dreamed of a time when darkness would be vanquished by his invention, when every home would be filled with light. It was hope mingled with imagination that fueled his endless experiments and kept discouragement at bay. So too must you give yourself permission to dream, even if your present reality is difficult. Allow your mind to wander toward what might be possible. Imagine a better day, a higher purpose, a life transformed by perseverance and courage. Write down your hopes, however distant they may seem. See yourself accomplishing your goals. Picture the steps, feel the triumph, and let your belief take root. Imagination is the fertile soil in which all great deeds are planted. Every breakthrough, every triumph begins first in the mind of someone bold enough to dream. Reality may appear unyielding, the obstacles too high, but if you nurture your vision and refuse to let it die, you plant the seeds for future success. Hold to your vision even when everything around you suggests it is impossible. Hope is not merely a feeling to be enjoyed on pleasant days. It is a living force, a call to action that stirs you to rise when energy is scarce. It compels you to take one more step, to try one more time, to believe that a new dawn can be shaped by your own hands. Hope is the architect of possibility. Feed your hope with uplifting stories and memories of times you have overcome. Recall moments when you summoned strength in adversity or witness others do the same. Let these memories become your wellspring, replenishing your spirit when doubt creeps in. Small acts of courage, rising early to work on your craft, extending kindness to another, daring to plan for tomorrow. Become the fuel that keeps hope alive. Do not let the harshness of today snuff out your vision for tomorrow. The world's greatest achievements have always been the work of those who cherished their dreams and guarded their hope against the winds of discouragement. Even if you are the only one who believes, hold fast. Imagination can take you where hard facts alone cannot, giving birth to possibilities you have yet to discover. In every struggle, let hope be your companion and imagination your guide. Water them with intention. Protect them from despair and watch as they grow. For in time, the world you once imagined, nurtured by your quiet conviction, may come into being, bringing light not only to yourself, but to all those who cross your path. Let hope and imagination shape your days. Let them carry you through the darkness and remind you that more is possible even when evidence is scarce. It is in this soil that all your greatest work will be planted, and in time will bear fruit beyond anything you once thought possible. Act today, no matter how small. The greatest obstacle to progress is the habit of waiting. How often do we find ourselves hesitating, telling ourselves we must wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect surge of energy? Yet the truth is that progress is not reserved for those who wait for flawless conditions. It belongs to those who act, even if their actions are incomplete, even if their efforts feel feeble and uncertain. Look at Mr. Carnegie. His legacy was not built in a single grand gesture. It was not the product of one perfect day or a flash of inspiration. Rather, it was shaped by countless small, deliberate actions, one step at a time, one decision after another. Every morning, he greeted a new opportunity to move closer to his vision. No matter how modest the effort might be, he understood that a single brake blade each day would over time become a fortress. You too possess this power. Each new day is a gift, a chance to do something, anything that brings you closer to your dream. If your spirit is why and running seems impossible, then walk. If walking is too much, then crawl. What matters is not the speed or grandeur of your movement, but the fact that you move at all. Do not stand still in the hope that someday the world will align itself to your wishes. Take a step, however small, and plant the seeds of your future. Every action you take is a seed. It may seem tiny, perhaps even invisible to those around you, but it matters. Each seed will in time bear fruit, sometimes in ways you cannot predict or control. A single effort today becomes the foundation for a breakthrough tomorrow. The garden of your life is cultivated not with rare bursts of energy, but with the quiet, steady work of daily persistence. Do not wait for readiness, for you may never feel it. The sense of readiness grows out of action, not before it. Begin with what you have and where you are, broken and tired if you must be, but begin. Let today be the day you start. Each humble step is a victory over inertia, a quiet act of defiance against the forces that would keep you in place. Do not let the world's silence discourage you. Take pride in what you do, even if you do it alone. The journey to transformation rarely begins in comfort or applause. It begins in the quiet decision to act when nothing compels you but your own hope. You may stumble, you may falter, but every movement forward builds strength. Progress is made in moments when you act, not in moments when you wait. As you move, you will find that each small effort accumulates. One day you will look back and realize that the mountain you thought impossible to climb was conquered one step at a time. Your life, transformed and renewed, will be the living proof that action, no matter how small, is always more powerful than inaction. Let today be the day you choose movement over hesitation. Trust that every step matters, that every action has its place in the story you are writing. Begin now and watch as your consistent effort changes everything. Your journey is your own. You may begin alone, perhaps weary and doubting, but you carry within you the seed of greatness. Decide now. Do not wait for permission. Do not wait for rescue. Begin today right where you stand with all that you have. The world is changed, not by those who waited, but by those who dared to act, even when the odds were long. Let this be your moment. Take that first step. Light your own fire, and in doing so, discover the power that has been within you all along.